Hello, everyone, and welcome to Soar to Fly podcast. This is Marshall, and today's topic is entitled After This. I'll be talking to you guys about a sensitive situation that has impacted my life traumatically. I know that you guys have listened to my prior podcast of the things that I've been through as far as my divorce and marriage and loss of my spouse and everything. The topic I want to talk about, like I was saying, is after this, meaning that what do you do after this? Now that everything has, transpired in your life, things has changed. You're no longer married. You're no longer doing the things that you were so accustomed of doing in your life. What do you do? And so I want to talk more about that. I was talking to my sister the other day, and I was sharing with her some things that I was basically what the Lord has brought me over. And sometimes there's things in your life that when you're in a situation, you don't see it, even though that there's like red flags and things or situations that may be detrimental, that when you're in it, you can't see it. But when you're out of it, you understand, like, oh my God, I can't believe that I allowed that to happen. Or, oh my God, I can't believe that I didn't see that red flag. I can't believe that I moved the way I moved and didn't change the situation. And so when I was talking to my sister, basically for the marriage that I was in, where I was married to someone, and I shared a little bit about it on my previous podcast, but I'm gonna go in depth about it. I was married to someone that, not to put anyone down or anything, but I'm just talking facts. I was married to someone who was going through divorce, like bad divorce. And we were good friends at first. And so I took this individual in and because he didn't have anything. And I felt sorry for him. I felt bad because, again, we were friends. And one thing led to another, and we became more than friends. And then we became into a couple. And how many of you all know, ladies, that is a red sign? Do not do it. But when you're in a situation, you don't think that way. You don't think that you're thinking that, hey, I'm about to, be in this guy is a really good guy. He has a good heart, even though he's in a bad situation. I'm going to help him. I'm going to make sure that he's doing good. But do you understand that you can be a crutch to someone, that you can dampen their growth? You can cause problems in your relationship because that person doesn't have anything to offer to you. Even though that you think that you can be okay, even though that in my situation, I was well off. My credit was good. Financially, I was stable. I had my own place. My car, had my own car. I was doing me. And this person who I thought was going to be in my life, I thought maybe I can help this person. But all along, it became a problem. And so going through the process of everything, I was sharing with my sister, it was like, while I was in this, I just couldn't see the damage that, like I was saying, crippling him. I was crippling myself. I couldn't grow. I was busy pouring into him and he couldn't pour back to me. And it wasn't more a financial gain. Listen, it's not all about sex. If you're talking about sex, you can get it anywhere. There's people who's out there who's selling sex, who's giving it away, who's doing it. But in a relationship, that's not going to keep you. That's not going to make a foundation of a relationship. So after all of that, what can anyone bring in? And so, reflecting on my life, I had to go through those storms, go through those battles, go through those things to where I am right now, so I can be able to share with you all how to, why, or what can you, or where where you can prevent yourself from getting into this situation. Like I was sharing, caring for this individual because of the situation that he was in, not knowing that it was a ripple effect of things that he was still dealing with in his marriage, of divorcing of his ex that he was bringing into my life, which was unfair. And I was blinded to it all. There was things that was shared to me that was false. And caring for someone blindly is a hazardous to your health, is hazardous to your money, it is hazardous to your mental state, is hazardous to everything that's around you. If you don't get the truth of the matter of it all, it's going to be a downward spiral for you. And so going through what I was going through in that marriage, thinking that I can help this individual to become something that he was not prepared to be because I was already there, was wrong on my part. I'm taking ownership on that. Okay. And so going through that process now, seeing that Marshall, man, I wish that I would pulled out a long time ago. And so I want to give warning to not only to women, but to men as well, because I don't want it to be one-sided, because not all men are like this and not all women are like this. But I do want to get a forewarning. If who you are with cannot meet you halfway in a relationship, pull off. If they don't have their things together and there's so much baggage that's coming with them, and you think that you're about to handle it, baby girl, baby, sir, let me tell you, don't get in that relationship. Pull back, because that baggage that they have, that they're trying to bring into your relationship is going to pull you down. And so, where I want to get to, why I brought this topic after this, where I am right now, I'm at a place of stability. I'm at a place of like, okay, I can breathe now. Although the journey was not easy, it was hard. Let me tell you, it was not easy to get to where I am right now. The journey it was not easy at all. Let me tell you. I mean, there was many days and nights where I cried myself to sleep. There was days that I went without eating, without sleeping, because I was separated. I had to leave, because I knew if I didn't leave this relationship, it was going to kill me. Mentally, physically, emotionally, it was going to kill me, because only one person pouring in a relationship and giving all, there's more that I wish that I can share what happened, but because the sensitivity of it all, because it's more people who's in factor in this, I don't want to go in depth in that area, but because of the sensitivity of it all, it was just so much. that Marshall had to leave, and I had to pull out of that, get out. And I'm not condoning, and I'm not telling anybody to get a divorce, because I don't believe in divorce. But because of the situation that I was in, I had to. Those who are close to me understand why I had to. Okay. And so, like I was saying, going through all this, it was hard. It was frustrating. It was embarrassing. It was hurtful. I begged and I pleaded. I wanted my marriage to work, and, and I wanted to salvage or try to change it. But because, again, if it's one-sided and the person is not willing, and if they're not there where you are, you can't force anyone to do it. You can't force anyone to stay. You can't force anyone to love you, and I thought I could. I thought that what I had, I thought who I was enough. But sometimes what you have for the individual, and if they're looking otherwise and they're thinking the grass is greener on the other side, they're not looking at you. They're not appreciating you. They don't understand you. They're not for you. And so you have to relinquish and let go. And it's painful. I got to be real with this thing. It was painful going through this divorce. It was painful losing someone that you thought that you was going to share the rest of your life with forever and ever till death do us part. I went through that process of death do us part. I went through that. And then I remarried, and I thought I would be able to go through this process of loving someone till God calls us home. But that wasn't the case. So again, if you are involved with someone that cannot pour into you, and God is not the center focus of your relationship, let me tell you, it's not going to work. It's not. Why do married couple get married? Because they want to tie the knot. That's a knot that is a sealed commitment, and so that was my intention. That was my focal point, because that's all I knew. I didn't want to shack with someone. I don't want to be, the norm of moving in with someone and then so many years of then maybe we'll get married. No, I wasn't used to that type of life. If I'm dating someone, my focus was, if I'm dating you, is a possibility that the next step is marriage. Why waste each other's life if we're just going to date forever? You wasted my life. I'm wasting his. Okay. And so, like I said, during that time, it was a struggle. It was a transition. It was things that I had to really, go back and really think about. And like replay, and just like, oh my gosh, Marshall, you really lost yourself. You really lost who you really were. Because sometimes, if what is that? If you lose yourself in individual, or and you forgot who you really are, then why be in that relationship with someone? Okay. You're both two individuals coming together as one, but you both are individuals. But if you lose who you are as an individual, how can you bring something to someone to become one? That's that's backwards. Okay. And so, after all of that, going through that process, going through what I went through, I'm at a place of peace. I'm at a place of, okay, I can finally breathe. Okay, I'm trying to get my credit back in order. I'm trying to get my finances back in order, because when I got with this individual, again, like I told you at the beginning, my finances was stable. My credit was specular. I didn't have any problems. I can just go and come. I didn't have to worry about that. I end up bringing in another person into my life who was not all together. And listen, I'm not trying to make the situation or that person bad, because everybody comes in with baggage. Everyone has I came with something. I lost a husband. He was killed. Okay. So that was something that I was dealing with the baggage. Okay. And he came with baggage. This, my ex, he came with baggage. Okay. So I want to make that clear, because I don't want you guys to get on here and it's like, okay, who is Marshall married to? And let me get in contact with this person because she's saying this way, this. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to hear me clearly, what I'm trying to say, and understand where I'm coming from. Okay. It's always something at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel for you. After this, okay, you don't think because yes, you're going through something that is so hurtful and so traumatic and painful and gut wreck, but you will get through this after this. Okay. And so, I will be sharing with you guys, at a later podcast about, people who uses people to get ahead. It's like manipulators. That's going to be a good topic to talk about. But be aware of the signs. Be aware of those who you think that's going to be in your life. You always got to use discernment. Ask God to give you discernment. Like, God, show me who this person is. If this person is not supposed to be in my life, please remove him or her. If this person's supposed to be in my life, flourish it, bless it, anoint it. Give us the tools to make this marriage or make this relationship survive, so you can get the glory. So you, God, can get the glory and the praise. Okay. And so, yeah, I'm really want to, really touch on this, because I'm speaking as a woman. I'm speaking of, because I see a lot of women who just accept anything from a man. Okay. Oh, I think I can change him. Yeah, he was in a bad relationship. I'll be a bigger woman than this person ever was. Yeah, you may think that you can. But let me tell you, baby girl, it's not always the case. Okay. I thought I could, but I couldn't. When my ex told me all the stuff that his ex did to him and how, she made him feel and all this type of stuff, and she was not doing this and this and that, I was like, oh, I can do better than that. I can be better than her. I can do this and this and that. Oh, you would never lack for nothing. Oh, your love language is this. Okay, I would do this. And you're doing all the good stuff. All along, he just sitting back and chilling while he's waiting looking for the next victim or the person that he can use and manipulate. While you doing all this, he's still searching through the social media, looking through pictures or gawking through females, or saying, oh, I wish I could be with that person. Oh, let me not put a ring on this person. Let me not put a ring on her. Let me keep my status. And that's one thing that what was going on with our relationship. on my status, I put down that we was engaged, but he wouldn't share it. That's a red flag. I was so excited that we was engaged to be married, and I wanted to put that on social media, but I couldn't, because he was like, "Hey, I don't want anybody all about business." But come to say, it's because he was going through some stuff with his ex. So we couldn't share the moment. That was another red flag. You know, it was just so many things that was presented that I saw it, but I ignored it because I thought I can change this person. But knowing, Marshall, you can't do it. You're not God. You don't have the power. And I thought I did. And, but I thank God, because after this, I learned my lesson. Marshall's not going to do that type of stuff no more. You hear me? But, as I was saying, make sure that you guys, whoever you with or what the relationship with, like I said, number one, God has to be the center focus of it all. Number two, y'all got to make sure you have a prayer life. Number three, make sure they go to a good church home. Number four, make sure that they got their affairs in order as far as their finances. If they have, I'm not saying even good credit, but they got some great credit. They got their credits okay. Okay, so if anything happens, they don't always have to stand on you. You be able to stand on him. Okay. I don't even know what number I'm. Number 5. If they do have past relationships or past exes, make sure that foundation is good, because whenever you are coming into that relationship with that individual, you're going to take on whatever they had. If they had children and their ex doesn't like you, you got to be prepared for that. But whoever you are with, you better make sure that whoever you're in engaging with, in relationship with, that they set a foundation or set what I'm trying to say, that there will be no disrespect going on between the ex and you. That whoever you are with, like for instance, your mate will put their foot down where there will be no issues between their ex and you, if that makes sense. There should be some type of communicable relationship. Y'all don't have to like each other, but you got to respect one another. Okay? There should be no name callings, no bees and all that type of stuff with one another. You understand what I'm saying? The reason I'm saying is because I went through that. Okay? I went through, my ex, his ex-wife. Apparently she didn't like me. Because there was history, there was things that went on in history, things that happened that this is so sensitive that caused a problem with his children. So if you don't set a foundation with your children's mother or children's father, there's going to be issues within that. Okay. So you got to make sure that there's some, communication clearness of it all. Who takes precedence. Okay. Because if you don't have a good communication in that area, you're going to have problems with your relationship. I'm just being real. Okay. I thank God for my children's father. He's remarried, that I have a good relationship with his wife. Okay. At the beginning, it was kind of rough, but we are at a great place, after so many years, because we both understood our place. And once that has been established, then you can move forward. You're no longer worried about a renewing Kindle relationship with your ex. She has taken the lead of being the queen of him. Okay. And so once that has been established, you can move forward. Okay. So that's where I want to get you guys to get understanding. The next one is set a foundation or where you are with, if there's like children involved. If you have children, there should be communication with your children to understand where you stand with him. Okay. If you guys have to go through therapy, counseling, where you can have a mediator, something, or if your children cannot get along with the person that you're dating, that's a problem. You have to find out the source and communicate about that. If it doesn't work, that's a red flag. Something's not right. Don't move forward in a relationship if something's not right. Okay. It's so many other parallels of the relationship, that the list can go on and on and on and on. But after this, of learning what you can do and what you can't do, will make everybody's life better. Your life better. You can sleep easily at night. Your mate can sleep easily at night. And you can move forward. But if it doesn't work, you still can make it. You still can live. You still can move on with your life, can pursue a different dream, a different path. It doesn't stop because it didn't work in that situation. My life didn't stop because my marriage ended. Okay? In a marriage, it does seem like it's death because you're divorced, but you can move forward in life. Okay? So, regardless of what's going on, you can move forward. Okay? And always have great people, great, positive people in your life to be able to speak life to you. That's so critical. And I thank God for the people that I had in my life, my sister, my brother, my best friend, Shauna, Kelly, Stephanie, Shannon. It was Karanda. It was just so many people that I had in my life. Melinda. Oh my God. There's so many people that was speaking life and prayed for me constantly while I was going through, and always told me, Marshall, you would get through this. This is not the end. God has something better for you. Yeah, it's stinging right now. It's so painful. Sometimes you can't even wake up in the morning. You feel like you can't wake up or do anything in the morning or go through it. If you don't feel like it, don't do it. Lay in the bed, but you have to go through it. Don't escape it, because if you don't go through the process of healing, it's going to come back at you and hit you like a brick. And I thank God for those individuals that stuck by me. Now, there were some that I thought that was going to stick by me, but they drifted off, and some of them was cut off. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they weren't for your journey. Okay, don't take it personal. That season of that time that they were in your life at that time is no longer there. The season ended. God always bring people back in, whoever's supposed to be in your life. Okay? So embrace those who was in your life for a reason, and embrace and then let go of those individuals who were no longer a pivotal part of your life, if that makes sense. Okay? So I know I have shared a lot with you guys about this topic after this, but I just want to let you guys know there's life after this. You will make it, push through it, it is not even about marriage. It could be if you're battling with alcohol, or if you're battling with drug addiction, if you're battling with something that detrimental happened to you, if you was raped or if you was molested, if someone who abandoned you or someone who left you, you will get through this. After this, God has so much in store for you, and I'm pulling for you. I know you can make it. All right. All right. Let me go ahead and end this podcast because I know it was a lot. But I will come back with you guys. All right. You take care. And this is Soar to Fly podcast.